good, everybody? It is Wednesday, August 16th, 2023. This is your daily, and I do mean daily, sports betting brand of record. We're powered, as always, by the almighty SportsLine, the best value on all of sports betting, and it's not close. Now, you guys know me, and for those of you brand new to the brand, welcome. We want everybody here, but you know how I run this brand and why you're here. You trust us. We have transparency, positivity, and also ownership. We tout the good days, and damn it, when we have a bad day, good thing it doesn't happen very often, we will own that too. And yesterday, it was a bad day at the brand. That's all you can say. You look at it and you move on. But that's part of the reason why I continue to say that we're the only show that's been here every day since December 2020, and we are the best sports podcast in America. And we're about to prove it, but I need you. In the last week, you've received an email if you voted for us in the first round. This is the only way that any of the top three shows can win. You've got to do it again. They want to know who truly is the people's choice. So take out that email, give us a vote, and we will raise that trophy on night one of the NFL season. Oh, and by the way, who else can't wait for the NFL? For some reason, this time every single year, 3 straight years, you get to the middle of August, you go on kind of a cold streak. I can't figure it out, but this business is very, very hard. But that's why we do it together. So with all that being said, let's bring in the stars of the show. You know them, you love them, and look at the 3 that I have today. 3 of my absolute very best. The counselor of Cassie and Nejad. Amags. Could the Yankees please score last night with the Braves? And, of course, the guru, Martin W. Green. By the way, guru, how about England ruining the party in Australia middle of the night, 3-1? They move on to the finals against Spain. What did you make of that performance?
Yeah, it was a solid performance. I think there was defensive errors from both teams. But, yeah, England got the job done. And I did think it would be either Spain or the USA in one half of the draw and either England or Germany on the other side. So got that right. I think it could be a very tight final between England and Spain. Couldn't call it. Maybe both teams to score.
Yeah, I think I saw the initial odds were minus 135 to England. I think England's going to be the favorite in that. But we almost certainly have a pick for that game right here on the early edge. All right, let's get into it. We got a lot to talk about today. Marquee matchups. Where are we going? And yes, we've got to continue to try and build that bank account for the start of the NFL season. We still have 3 weeks left. So here's what we're going to do today. Fade or follow. Favorites, Mets, minus 120 over the Pirates. They lost last night, 7-4 at home. Thank you, New York. The Astros, minus 125 over the Marlins. And the Padres, minus 170. They blew out the Orioles last night at home. Counselor, I'm going to come to you first because the Astros are a part of this today. And, boy, the first 5 yesterday sucks.
Yeah, I put out a play on Twitter and 2 throwing errors on the same play with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th, and they were bad throwing errors for those of you that watch it in the chat. It is a tough scene. So we were going to push. It wasn't going to be a win, but, oh, man, I got to post the video later today because I think it was one of the worst defensive plays in baseball I've seen in my entire life, frankly. With all of that said, I kind of like the Astros, but I'm not going there in terms of following the Astros. Obviously, it's Verlander on the mound for the Astros. Looks good. Luzardo's been pretty good as well, certainly good at home. I think I'm going to go with the Orioles here because I'm going to fade the Padres because you're getting plus 140, plus 145. And I understand Blake Snell is on the mound, and I understand he's one of the best pitchers in baseball. Dean Kramer on the other side, he's been pretty good, but he's allowing a lot of hard hits, and Padres were hot yesterday, all that stuff. But there is not a situation where I can take this Padres team over the Orioles at minus 170. It's just never going to happen. So I'll take the plus 140 money on the Orioles here.
Counselor, that was next level capping right there. And I apologize. I got a little distracted because of what's going on in the chat this morning. Guess who just arrived? Your nemesis, the guru's mint tea, Buckets, is in the chat. And he simply writes Padres. So he went directly against you, Counselor, in the chat. Your thoughts?
I mean, it's standard operating procedure. He only comes in to antagonize me. Like, as soon as I start talking, there's Buckets in the chat going with the opposite take.
That's very, very true. All right, Amags, I feel like I haven't talked to you in a while. It is so good to see you back on the show. Where are you going today? Who are you fading or following?
Well, great to see you, Coach. And I do actually like this Houston Astros team today. Minus 125 on the money line. I'm going to take that. And it's mainly just Verlander against Luzardo. I know Luzardo, we like him on the strikeouts. He's been, definitely effective for us there. But 4 or more earned runs in 3 of his last 3. I'm going to take the Astros.
Last night, the Astros, a little comeback win. I think we forget sometimes that the Marlins right now, if the season ended today, they would be one of the 3 wildcard teams. They've had a pretty good year. They're not a bad baseball team, but the Astros are simply better. All right. Now, as many of you know, we are everywhere every single day. I got a call yesterday. I'll be hosting our primetime betting show, live betting show, 8 o'clock Eastern, 4 times in the next 2 weeks, even on the road at the Tour Championship, because that's what the crew does. We show up every single day, including here.
Get breaking news.
Big news coming out of the NFL today.
Highlights and instant reactions.
The largest final round comeback in Tour Championship history. We're down to the Final 4.
I just want to take time to analyze greatness.
Talk winners and losers with a guy who's already a big winner.
CBS Sports HQ. It's all sports all day long.
2 issues right now. 2 big issues right now. First of all, at least 4 or 5 people in the chat are calling for a showdown between the counselor and Buckets. Any interest, Sia?
What's the with the Padres? I mean, not really, because it's not an official play. Listen, he can listen to my official plays, and if he wants a showdown on the other side of one of those, he's more than welcome to it. I'll extend my streak of whatever it is, 19 out of 20 against Buckets. But for a fade or follow, no, I'm not quite as confident as my official takes.
He's willing to take the run line.
Well, that's still paying like at a minus 110 price probably, or maybe it's minus 130 to the Orioles. So it's not like a huge concession there by Buckets. Very crafty by him to pretend like he's making some huge concession, but he's not.
All right. Well, if the counselor won't take it, damn it, Buckets, I will. If you want a showdown, put it into the chat. Say, yes, coach, I will lose today. I want you to write that. Yes, coach, I will lose today. And I'll give you a showdown. I'll take the Orioles plus the 1.5. No juice, just straight up plus 1.5. You get them on the run line. Now, Guru, you always participate and pick the prop. But yet, you just typed in the chat, hello, Big Cheesy. Wow, distracted this morning. So I'm going to let you sit there for a second. Think about if you really want to be in business with Big Cheesy, and we're going to play a little pick the prop. Oh, I feel like Guru has something to say. Do you have something to say, Martin?
Big Cheesy's just been nothing but nice to me ever since I started appearing on these shows. So I'm just extending a good morning to my good friend Big Cheesy. But I accept that I won't be in pick the prop today. I'll sit this one out.
No, you're going to play. And also, okay. Buckets, he accepted the challenge. So before we play, got all these P words, play, pick the prop, snake. Oh, hit the music. It's gonna be a showdown. Oh, I like taking Buckets' money on the run line late night. Let's go. Now, we have a little model at SportsLine, and it picks the 5 players that are most likely to hit home run today, or as Buckets like to say, go the yard. Here are the 5. Rafael Devers, Matt Olson, who hits bombs, Shohei, Christian Walker, and Adolis Garcia. Sia, where are we going today?
Well, we don't have AB on the show today, but I was on with him on CBS Sports HQ on that scoreboard show that you mentioned, Coach, last night. And I got to channel. I know he had a lot of Braves bets yesterday, and he has them every day. I got to channel my inner AB, and I got to go with Matt Olson at plus 250 over Vasquez. I mean, Vasquez is okay, I guess. But, I mean, this is really a take on Matt Olson. The guy's on fire. It seems like everything is like slowed down for him and is sped up for everybody else in Major League Baseball, or almost everybody else. So give me Matt Olson at plus 250.
All right. So we got Matt Olson at plus 250. Hey, Mags, I'm coming to you. Who do you like?
Well, I do have to agree with Sia. Matt Olson's on fire. He's basically hitting a home run every other game here in August. So I'm going to roll with him at plus 250, but I'll give you this. So we got 5 guys on the board. I'll at least say something about somebody else. I like both Garcia and Ohtani tonight. Both of them match up well versus the handedness of the other pitcher.
The handedness?
Lefty versus righty for Garcia, and then lefty versus righty for Ohtani there. So the handedness.
The handedness. New word this morning. Guru, I'm looking. I don't see a Philly, so I'm wondering, where are you going this morning?
Yeah, I'm a bit stuck, Coach, because none of these players play for the Philadelphia Phillies. So I'm just going to have to follow these two fine gentlemen and make it a full house for Matt Olson because they were very convincing in their breakdowns. So Matt Olson for me too, please.
Hey, that's better analysis than Buckets ever gives on doing the yard, so I'll take it. I will take it. Now, you can get all this next-level capping analysis all over, as I just told you, CBS Sports HQ. Now, I was a little reluctant to show the schedule because I'm going to get a text from the sniper because look at what we have today. 9 a.m. Eastern, he's already been on. And then 1 a.m. Eastern later tonight. Hey, the man loves to work. And then in the middle of that, we've got the amazing Grace Remington and the counselor, 1 o'clock, and M Squared and the sniper at 6 p.m. Eastern to get you ready for the evening in sports. Counselor, real quick, what are you guys talking about today on HQ?
We're going to talk about a lot of what we talked about yesterday on the early wedge, which you can catch in your feed right now. We're going to talk about some PGA Tour golf and the playoffs. I'm going to have some DFS picks. I'm going to have some best bets.
All right. Speaking of PGA Tour, we recorded, and many of you were there live yesterday, another award-winning episode of the early wedge as we get set for the second playoff event, the BMW Championship, just outside of Chicago. The great Steve Scott was on the show. Of course, Patrick McDonald and the counselor. It's in your feed live right now. Now, before we get to our board today, and it's a bounce back Wednesday. I still got to pay these guys. We never stop. Here's a word from one of our incredible partners here at CBS.
Driving into the stadium, seeing everybody tailgating, I get that ready-to-go feeling.
You know, to walk through the fan section over there and see that many people excited about football, so I'm really looking forward to it.
You get away from football for a little bit and then you start missing and you get that itch again.
For me, that first catch is everything. Once I get one catch, I'm in the zone.
Getting back to football.
It's been too long.
We can't wait.
Can't wait.
We can't wait.
We can't wait.
You're damn right we can't wait. And guess what? This an extremely busy week at the brand. Monday, we did divisions, conference, and Super Bowls. Today, boy, the counselor is busy today because he'll be with Proppy 3 times. That's right, me, Sia Nejad, and Prop Stars doing player props for the year at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Then tomorrow, our exotics, where we throw a little bit of everything into the pot and see what comes out right here live on this channel. Turn on your notifications so you don't miss one single second of our incredible content. All right, let's get to our board for the day. And when I look down and I see the reigning, defending, undisputed Champions League champions on the pitch today, that's exactly where we have to start. Guru, you're up first.
Yeah, thanks, Coach. Quick shout out for Inter Miami just for paying for my kids to go to college by just continuously winning over the past 3 weeks. But yeah, I'm going to have to retrain my focus on Europe now because we have the Super Cup. It's an annual game which pits the Champions League winner against the Europa League winner. As many of you know, the Champions League is a far more prestigious trophy. So Manchester City are vastly superior to Sevilla in pretty much every department. They did remind everyone of their quality by beating Burnley 3-0 on Friday, whereas Sevilla slumped to a very disappointing 2-1 defeat to Valencia after they had a man sent off. Man City do have some injury problems, including De Bruyne, Diaz, Stones, but they have a large enough squad to cope. I think they should win this one pretty comfortably if they play to their full potential. So I'm giving them a minus 1.25 Asian handicap at odds of minus 133. That's my only pick for the day, but just quickly looking ahead to Friday, and I do think the odds on Nottingham Forest to beat newly promoted Sheffield United look very attractive. Forest had the 9th best home record in the Premier League last season. They look pretty good despite losing 2-1 to Arsenal in their opener, whereas Sheffield United were very lacklustre against Crystal Palace. I think they could struggle in this game. So I've also got moneyline home win on Nottingham Forest at minus 110.
I thought they looked pretty good in their opening game. I thought they played pretty well. You know, wasn't it Man United or who'd they play in their first game? Nottingham Forest. I know I watched it.
Arsenal, yeah. Arsenal were 2-0 up at half time, and then they really played pretty well towards the end of the game, which bodes well for their chances against Sheffield United, who were very, very poor against Palace at home. So.
You never know. You never know. But in soccer, it's only about 3 months off, and they're right back at it. So all the big leagues are revving up right now, which is why we have the Guru and Buckets and our silent assassin, Brant Sutton at SportsLine. And if you're not a SportsLine member, what are you doing? There's never been a better time than right here, right now. So I'm going to do you a solid. I'm going to give you 60% off. Use the promo code COACH for the next 3 months. And after that, we'll be in November. You'll be playing with house money. Come join the fastest growing community in all of sports right here at SportsLine. Now, Allie in the chat, see ya, said, I can't wait for the show. And she's talking about the future show later today. We love when Allie and Rebecca and everybody's in there. So you're going to be a part of that show. But I believe that right now you're focusing on baseball. A little bounce back for you. What do you got?
Yeah, bounce back from my Twitter play yesterday. I'm going to go, I've got two plays here. One is a first five, but it's not a side, it's an under. And the other one is a team total. Let's go with the team total first. Rangers team total over 4.5 at -135. Rangers are facing Detmers. Reed Detmers is on the mound. And honestly, he was pretty good in June. Really bad since then, though. The last 5-6 starts have been really bad. And the last two starts, hold on to your hats, 16 hits and 14 runs in 6 1/3 innings. Let me say that again. 16 hits and 14 runs, earned runs, mind you, in 6 1/3 innings. And now he gets the respite of taking on the Texas Rangers bats, who, oh, by the way, are mashing righties and lefties, but particularly good against left-handers. I just love the Rangers team total here of over 4.5. My next one is a first five under in this Blue Jays game against the Phillies, against the Gurus Phillies. We got two good pitchers on the mound. We got Gausman and we got Nola. You know, Nola did get knocked around, or Gausman did get knocked around a little bit over the last, 4 or 5 starts. He's had a couple just very average games, but there's injuries on the Toronto side, and the Phillies really not hitting. They've only scored 2 runs in the last 3 games, and now they get to face Gausman. I think you're looking at a 2-1, a 2-0 game at the end of 5. So I'm taking the first 5 under of 4.
All right. That'll be a sweat that I do not want to watch. Just look at the score, cash the ticket. First 5 unders, they're smart. But, man, are they sweaty no matter what the number is. No matter what the number is. Counselor, as always, thank you very much. Steve in the chat says, you guys are the best. Keep it up. Thank you, Steve. He also says, shout out to the Spectre for making some early money on England on the money line. Yes, he did. And they'll be back today at 4 p.m. Eastern time. Early edge in 5 with Amazing Grace and the crew. Now, a little programming note that when football starts, because we're going to have so many primetime NFL shows, Early Edge in 5 will take a little hiatus. But it'll be back at the end of the NFL season. Just had to make an executive decision, and we believe it's the right one. All right. Now, Amags, it's Wednesday. And on Wednesday, you always bring me a strong parlay. So today, where are we going, sir? Where are we going? And keep in mind, you're in the Maestro spot.
Well, I was thinking that as Sia was going through his play, I'm like, geez, this is only going to be my second time, I believe, in the Maestro spot. So I will hopefully hold it down for the entire crew here. And I'm agreeing with Sia on this Texas side, and I'm going to go to a little parlay with John Gray at 5 or more strikeouts and the Rangers money line. I got it around -110 this morning on Bet Rivers, DraftKings, FanDuel. Should be available on pretty much every book. But the 5 number for John Gray, I think, is important. When you look at his recent starts, he's been over the 5.5 number in 3 out of his last 3. I like the consistency we're starting to see with him as he's incorporated the slider and the curveball more. He's taken the fastball usage down almost 10% to both sides of the plate. I like that a lot. When you look at Gray versus this LA team, the Angels lineup since the deadline, I know they added a couple pieces in Cron and Grichuk, but the lineup has been a top 3 matchup for right-handed pitching in terms of Ks. We like to attack them for strikeouts, and I think that John Gray gets a softer matchup than he's seen in recent weeks before the last 3 that have been really good. And he was at 4 strikeouts against teams like Houston, Cleveland, Tampa Bay, New York. So I think that in this one, that 5 number is pretty key for us. And then that Rangers money line, as you heard Sia talk about, I do like them going up against the lefty and Reed Detmers. Look, he hasn't been good in the last few, and I get that, over the larger part of the season, he had been a little bit better. But when you look at him on the road, out of 9 starts on the road, only 1 time has he gone 5 or more innings and given up 2 or less runs. I mean, he's got a bunch of starts where he doesn't even go 5 on the road. The one time he did it was against his Texas team in Texas. I think he fares a lot differently today. So give me that parlay and check my Twitter. There's a bunch of other plays on there.
You're damn right. Check his Twitter. And by the way, I heard a nasty little rumor, Amags, that you're going to be a part of our NFL coverage this fall. Is that true? Is that true?
That is very true. And I think that I got to give Proppy a little shout out. He has sent me a bunch of his props, here and there as he's looking at futures and season-long stuff. I mean, just amazing analysis. So make sure you tune into that show because I think there's going to be some really good nuggets.
Yeah, that's 3 p.m. Eastern today. He's been in the lab. He locked the door. He said, don't bother me. But he'll come out this afternoon. That's right. By the way, JJ, I've been on that block. I mean, my mood lately has been lit. He says no early edge in 5. That show carries the brand. Very interesting, JJ. That's 1. All right. Grab your paper. Grab your pencil. Here is the recap, courtesy of the Snake. Always on the 1s and the 2s. Counselor, Rangers, team total over 4.5, minus 135. I hate to say it about my Angels, but they are fading like the sun in the west right now. Phillies, Blue Jays, first 5, we're going under 4, minus 120. Then the Guru, 1 play today. Man City, this is the Asian handicap. For those of you new to soccer betting, if they win by 1, you lose half of your bet. If they win by 2, you win the full bet. If they draw or lose, you lose the full bet. So there's 3 different ways that this could go today. Then a little futures. Nottingham Forest money line minus 110, as the weekends in soccer are going to be very, very busy this year without the World Cup. Not so much midweek. Then Amags, our little SGP, as we like to call it. Same game parlay. John Gray, 5.5Ks, or over 5Ks, excuse me. And the Rangers on the money line. Do not forget that early edge in 5 does not stop until the football season starts. So they'll be back today at 4 p.m. Eastern time, an hour before that, 3 p.m. Eastern time. As I always tell you, we never stop. And what? There's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets. It's a Bounce Back Wednesday, straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, Lobo, Counselor, Amags, Guru, Buckets in the chat, and the Snake always on the 1s and the 2s. I am simply the coach, trying to keep this train on said track. We grind for you so we can win with you. It's what we're all about right here. Have a great day from the early edge. Good luck.